Jocelyn, and our group decided to interview Alejandro Rios, who is also our classmate. And we thought it would be interesting to interview him because he is part of Associate Students, and we really weren't familiar with what Associate Students was.
Hi, I'm Sarah. I also thought it was interesting to interview Alejandro. I have him for 2 of my classes this semester, and so I knew a little bit about his story before we decided to interview him. I knew that he had attended this university years back, and he just came back and is taking Latino Studies courses and wants to pursue his MBA here. So I thought that was really interesting.
Hi everyone, I'm Pamela. So as my classmate also said, or groupmate said, that we didn't really know what Associated Students was, and we thought that it'd be good for everybody in the classroom to get to know what Associated Student was in case they didn't know. And so we did. We interviewed Alejandro so he could give us more info on that.
Welcome to my office. My name is Alejandro Rios. I'm the Assistant Executive Director of Associated Students for Facilities and Services. My ethnic background, I'm from Mexican descent, and I came to the U.S. at the age of 14. And I started high school here in San Francisco, Woodrow Wilson High School. It's no longer in existence. It's Philip Burton now. And back in those days, in high school I got involved in, it's nerve-wracking to come into a new country not knowing the language, having that language barrier. Luckily there was a group called ALAS, Association of Latin American Students, in my high school. So I got involved with them, and they were very helpful. The teachers were very helpful and supportive. So little by little, I started getting acquainted with the language and with people of different backgrounds. During my junior year, I was approached by one of the teachers to say, I need to get ready for college and what. My immigration status was not what you will consider a citizen, so that was a little challenging. But there was also programs just like today, like DACA and the AB 540 programs. There was programs back then that helped students like myself to get into college. Even though we couldn't work, we were able to take classes and get some on-campus aid, financial aid. So, throughout the years, that also gave me the fuel to get involved in immigration issues and help making sure that I go back and help the community. So we have created, through La Raza as an organization, we created different programs, different conferences, and I will travel up and down the state, making sure that students like myself and that were in a similar situation knew about the different services the state and the universities provided. And then, once my situation changed, I still continue to work with the communities, with the immigrant communities, and like I said, in 187, Prop 184 with the 3 strikes, Prop 209 with affirmative action. So throughout the decades, we've been, the immigrant community has always been targeted and has always been blamed for economic situations in the state and the country. And here we were able to counter those things by educating our students and educating students across the state and the community as well. My experience with immigration, a lot of it came while I was in college. When I started college, I back then a Proposition 187 that targeted immigrants that had come to this country without any proper documentation, and in California, and they wanted to do a mass deportation back then. It was like in the early mid 90s, and being part of La Raza Student Organization here on campus, we organized and we got involved heavily in protecting those students that were in those situations, but also statewide organizing with different colleges, different campuses. It is very different, so it definitely has changed. And parking, definitely, there's no parking. So, and one thing that always interested me, and was interesting to me in San Francisco, is that you can't make a left turn on most of the street of the city, right? The city streets, you can't make a left. So that always, it was intriguing to me because, the way the traffic and the streets are designed, they want you to rush, they want you to keep going. So it has definitely changed. Now in Richmond, there's also a Latino community, and that keeps growing. It keeps growing, and they have 23rd Street, which is similar to Mission. They have the businesses and whatnot, but also the rents are getting higher and higher everywhere in the Bay Area, so they keep pushing, especially the Latino community or the middle and lower income families. They keep pushing them out to like Antioch, Concord, Pittsburgh. So, but we continue to fight and we continue to make it the community and keep the essence of what brought us together in the first place. The housing, with the whole tech boom that it's done at the Silicon Valley, San Francisco is very attractive as a city as it is, right? So these companies, they provide shuttle buses to their employees, and they come all the way up to San Francisco, to different parts of the city, so that they don't have to commute, But what that does is that once it creates traffic in the city, right? And two, because of the high income or the high salaries at these companies, they're able to afford, the nice weather neighborhoods such as the Mission, which when you pay more, you start driving the people that make the community out, and it becomes a gentrified society, which little by little, and you start seeing some of the businesses closing and addressing or catering more to what the incoming or the new community is. So a lot of that's when you see most of the change. You see the Google buses, you see the shuttles that come and pick people up in the morning to take them to work and then bring them back, and then the businesses in the neighborhood are catering more to those communities. Associated Students is the Student Government Association, a 501c3 nonprofit here on campus that gets its funding through student fees. Every student pays $82 to their tuition a semester. Therefore, with those funds, we create different programs that provide different services to students, like the Women's Center, Project Rebound, Project Connect, a variety of programs that serve the diversity of students. Also, we provide scholarships and jobs. What influenced me to become part of Associated Students was when I was a member of La Raza Student Organization. They also provide funding for student organizations to do events. As a member of La Raza, we submitted proposals to do events such as Día de los Muertos, Semana de la Raza, 5 de Mayo, and Noche de la Familia, La Raza graduation. So as one of the coordinators, I presented to AS, and then after the meeting, I became really interested on what AS was providing to students. So that's how you can either run for student government and become a student government official, or you can become an employee, which in this case, I applied for a job as a student assistant, and then a few years later, I became full-time, and that's where the story comes up to assistant executive director now. The university has definitely changed in terms of the demographics. When I started as a student, the Latino or Mexican American Latino population was almost as the same percentage with the African American student community. And definitely over the years, it has shifted to the African American community students has decreased in great numbers. However, the Latino community has gone, I believe, over 25% now. And that is in part because, throughout the nation, the Latino community keeps growing, and also the university has made great efforts along with the Latino faculty and staff to reach out to more Latinos, to the community. How it has changed from when I started, I believe that, back then when I started, most of the students that were coming to San Francisco State University were Bay Area students. And throughout the years, the university wanted, and San Francisco was known as a commuter school. And throughout the years, the university administration wanted to shift that to a more destination campus, meaning that more students were to live on campus, and that's why they built more dorms or more apartments, Centennial Village, the apartments, because before it used to be only Mary Park and Mary Ward, and a lot of the students that came from out of the city lived in the Park Merced or in other areas of San Francisco or even the East Bay. But now they're trying to reach out to as a destination campus, they're reaching out to students as far as San Diego, Orange County, so that they can come and live here for a year or two, and then for them to either move out or stay in the apartments. They also bought the Stonestown apartments, so that creates a lot of more beds available for students. Now with that though, what has changed, the mindset has also changed, because most of the, back when we were organizing, we were students, we tackled the home issues, what was happening in the Mission, what was happening in Oakland, what was happening in the Bay Area. And as more students from Southern California or areas, that somewhat shifted and phased out a little bit. So most of the students that were getting involved in the student organizations or student government were here more for the resume building, making sure that they were getting ready for the next step, whichever the next step was going to be in their careers. But we lost a little bit of the essence of organizing, the grassroots, and making sure that, yes, we do have issues in the community, but also on campus, hiring more Latino professors, making sure that we have more Latino administrators, more Latino staff, right? So over the years, it's been, both ways. One, the students have getting involved a little less, if you like, but also the ones that have been here for a while have pushed for more Latino administrators and more Latino teachers, professors, and staff. The advice that I will give to an incoming freshman, as myself, as I came in as an incoming freshman, it's get involved in different programs, get involved in student government, but do not lose track of your goal, which is to graduate from the university. I believe that nowadays, you must combine work, social life, academics, and also your involvement in the community. Is really important to get back to the community, especially during these days that the political spectrum is not the greatest, but also it's important to get involved and it's important to get back. And here on campus, there's a lot of organizations or groups or departments that you can get involved. So the advice that I will give is get involved. Don't lose track of your academics, but also make sure that you find that balance and explore the university, because there's a lot of resources that a lot of the times as an incoming freshman we don't know about, or we miss out, and sometimes we find out until we're all ready to go or we're ready to graduate. My advice for the AB 540 students or the DACA recipients is to stay in touch with the university. The university has created a Dream Resource Center, which provides resources for that particular community. You know, I know it's very nerve-wracking to think about what the next day or what the future holds, but I can reassure you that the university and the student organizations and the staff on campus are here to support you. And the advice that I will give the students in these situations is to seek out these resources and educate ourselves, and also, you know, let us know how we can better support you throughout the process that you're going through and whatnot. But mainly reach out to the different resources that the university provides. So my office used to be up there where the glass doors are, and I was there for almost 15 years up there. Then when I got the new position, I moved down to the C-134. And then today, what they're showing is the future of state. It's with the master plan, what it's gonna look like campus-wide in a few years. When this used to be called the Student Union, plain, no name or nothing. And then in the mid-90s, with La Raza and the student government and whatnot, we pushed for the university to name it Cesar Chavez Student Center. So, and then with the Cesar Chavez Student Center, Cookie, he also graduated from here. He's the author of the mural. He did it in 1994, and he did some retouching in 2013. And then with the naming of the building, we also named this plaza Malcolm X Plaza. So, and then with the naming of the plaza, it also came the Malcolm X mural. So we now it's known not only as a student union, but as a Chavez Student Center.
So interviewing Alejandro was an awesome experience. He was very open with us and detailed when we were asking him questions. And it was really interesting to learn about his background and how he moved here, and how like the language was difficult to learn, but how it was easy because he had moved into the Mission District, which felt a little bit like home. So I thought that was really interesting. And yeah.
So I found Alejandro admiring. Like, he does all of this stuff behind the scenes, works a lot to get stuff done within the college, and yet he still has time to go to class and get everything done so he can pursue his degree.
I thought the interview in Alejandro was really interesting, and also like his immigration story, how it was hard for him to learn the language coming from Mexico, but then also like he got a lot of help from his teachers, and like he was able to like come as a freshman here to San Francisco State. Well, we hope you guys enjoyed the interview, and thank you, Alejandro.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.